call to order the school committee meeting, February 27th, 2025. Stephanie, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Hatch?
Here.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Here.
Mr. Richards? Mrs. Sereno?
Here. Sorry. So first we'll have the report of the school committee chair. Really not a lot out there. What I would say is, if there's things people need or want, please email us. I think our issue here is when we read something on Facebook or someone says something, hey, what about this? And we don't know about it and no one asked us for it, it's hard for us to respond. So if you have requests or there's something you want done, you're looking to do different, if there's questions, please come to the meeting. We have an old guest out there she's here and she has questions and she asks them, and we appreciate that. So that's all I would say. Secondly, we're going to hear from Mr. Rapino, Mr. Raponi, our drama at the middle high school. Some great things going on, and like I always say, and I think I repeat myself all the time, Saugus is phenomenal in the arts, and I think as a community we just got to get more involved and get people out there to see them. If you go to one of these plays or anything, you're blown away. It's better than a night in Broadway. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much. My name is Nick Raponi. I am the theater teacher and drama club director at Saugus High School. And I want to first thank the committee for allowing me to be here tonight to spread the word about what the drama club students and I have been trying to accomplish over the last few months. This Saturday, March 1st, we're going to be hosting a preliminary round of the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild's High School Drama Festival. This is going to be the first time in the school district's history that we've been asked to host an event of this magnitude. So I am acting not only as the director of our particular production and the drama club director on an annual basis, I'm also acting as the festival coordinator, making sure all of the planning is all happening throughout the course of the day. For those who may not know, the METG Drama Festival is a statewide competition that happens in multiple rounds throughout the entire course of March, with the preliminary round taking place on the 1st, the semifinal round taking place on the 15th, and the final round taking place the 27th, 28th, and 29th of March at the John Hancock Building in Boston. Just a little bit of information about the day of festival and some guidelines that we have to fit within. None of the shows can last more than 40 minutes. Every single school that's participating will have essentially 5 minutes to set up all of their scenery and 5 minutes to remove it all once all of the things are done, and all of that is going to happen under the supervision of myself, a few adult volunteers, and of course the entirety of the drama club. So 4 schools from each round are going to move on to the semifinal round, and there's 10 additional schools throughout the state who are indeed hosting the preliminary round. We are one of 11, where 8 schools are competing at each, so 88 schools are participating. Wow. So at Saugus High School on Saturday, we're going to have student bodies from Boston Latin High School, North Reading High School, Salem High School, Swampscott High School, of course us in Saugus, Manchester Essex Regional High School, Lynn English, and the Clark School perform. Over the summer, me and a couple of the really talented technicians we have went into the Lemoyne Mitchell Auditorium and stripped it of all of its technology and then redid the whole entire thing in an effort to be able to host this event as well as we possibly could. I believe we've set the auditorium up for success on Saturday and any type of future event that we want to host in there, from a lighting, sound, and everything perspective that there is. Throughout this past week, we've had all of these schools that I just mentioned. They've come to Saugus Middle High School complex. They've been allowed their 75 minutes on stage to design and program all of their lights, bring in all of their scenery, which is a great way for our students to really practice using the technology within the theater. And we just genuinely could not be more excited about the event on Saturday. Fest, if you ask any student who's ever participated in speaking with Mr. Hatch and your son having won a Spotlight Award at Drama Fest years ago, it genuinely is the most memorable thing that they talk about, and the thing that our student body genuinely looks forward to the most is Fest. And the ability to now host that in the Lemoyne Mitchell Auditorium at the Saugus Middle High School complex is just, for me as a theater educator, a dream come true. We get to compete on our home turf in a theater that is genuinely beautiful, that when I will tell you that as students were coming in this week from other school districts, were audibly gasping at the beauty of the Lemoyne Mitchell Auditorium. And it really is something that we are excited to share with potentially 800-900 people on Saturday. So with regard to what we are doing, we're doing a play called Wojciech Reimagined. We have taken a play that was written back in 1836, noted as one of the first German expressionist plays, called Wojciech, based off of an army barber. And so not all theater is sunshine and rainbows, and this certainly fits that bill. I consider myself a theater scholar. I got my undergrad at Salem State University with a concentration in performance, right? SSU Vikings for life. There we go, a bunch of us. So I was first read this play in undergrad in theater history, and then when I was pursuing my master's degree, I had to choose an expressionist play to really explore and delve into for an entire semester in a class called Aesthetics in Directing for Theater. And I chose that one because I remember looking back and saying it was such a play. It's so fragmented. The playwright George Buchner, he actually passed away before he was able to finish it, and it was published years later posthumously. And one of theater scholars' favorite things to do is reorganize all of the scenes, because nobody actually knows the order in which George Buchner wrote them. So working with a colleague of mine, dear friend, he's a college professor, he has a master's degree in playwriting, he's our assistant director, his name is Kyle Gregory. This is the second year I've brought him on to help with festival in particular. So we adapted this original play down to 40 minutes, but because it is in the public domain, we were able to take some creative liberties with it and reset it. So we did reimagine it, which is how we came up with the title Wojciech Reimagined. But this particular play follows an army barber who is going through this painful medical experimentation of eating a diet of only peas. And because of this, he has all of these apocalyptic visions and hallucinations. His common law wife ends up having an affair, and we see this man go through the brink of madness throughout the entire course of the play. As far as for somebody, this is my 15th Drama Fest that I'll be participating in as from a directing standpoint in some regard. So it's kind of a milestone for me. But we are super excited. And I know that the play is dark and edgy and rarely produced, but those are precisely the types of pieces that I like to bring to festival. It's the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild. So for me, picking plays where we can take historical context and really find the educational value in what was written. German Expressionism is a thing that theater scholars will study for semester over semester, and I really like to choose plays that will challenge us from an acting standpoint, challenge us from a technical design standpoint, but then also challenge us from a scholarly standpoint. What can we learn from a historical context here? So we're super excited about that. The Saugus High School Drama Club currently has a membership of about 60 students, 37 of which are participating in this particular show on Saturday, 13 of them on stage, 24 of them are going to be behind the scenes doing all sorts of things. For this show, we have a student stage manager, assistant stage manager, student lighting designer, student scenic designer, student costume designers, student hair and makeup designers, student prop designers, scenic painters. We have live musicians, original compositions, all from the student body, and a student sound designer. I must tell you, having worked in several school districts, our students that we have in the fine arts department, as referenced in our conversation prior to this meeting, are extraordinarily talented. And I really just genuinely on a daily basis look for ways for us to all reflect and say, how can we be better at what we do? And I'm seeing that every single day with the growth we're making and the shows that we're producing. Sorry, I took a lot, and I haven't really looked down, which is good. I've always been pretty good at getting off book, as we say in the business. couple more things. When conceptualizing this piece, me and the assistant director, Kyle Gregory, we went through the original text scene by scene. And there was one particular scene that stuck out, and it took place in the midst of a freak show. And we said, well, what if we took the context of this play and set it within a freak show where all of these maniacal happenings within the particular play were all administered by this like evil carnival, sinister carnival barker type character. And that's really kind of how we've reimagined the piece. There is definitely some reasons, more reasons I chose it. A lot of it focuses on PTSD of this one particular soldier who we follow. And even though this play was written almost 200 years ago, PTSD and soldiers, manipulation of the poor, these are all major themes that we see every single day. 22 veterans a day die by suicide, and that is something that we really, really wanted to portray on stage. And this text really, really speaks to that, which is another reason why we've chosen it. And with that being said, there are some trigger warnings about the play and a whole bunch, and this isn't even close to the worst I've ever seen at Drama Fest in 15 years. But every play definitely has disclaimers because there could be some discomfort in some of the topics. So the trigger warnings for this play is this play contains moments of violence, depiction of war, death, murder, suicide, unsettling imagery, lots of loud noises, and lots of flashing lights. With that being said, myself, of course, I'm proud of my students every day for just working up the courage to go out on stage and put their art out there, because sometimes that's not easy. But we as a club and an organization are extremely proud of the work that we've been doing. We are especially proud to get this play up on its feet tonight in probably about 40 minutes, I think at this point, for a preview show. I thank you so much for having me. If there is any questions about our show, about festival or anything in the Fine Arts or Drama Club department, I would be glad to answer those questions for you.
Yeah, I just have a couple.
Sure.
So it's obviously open to the public.
Yes.
So, and what time is it?
So our preview show tonight is at 7 o'clock at the Lemoyne Mitchell Auditorium in Saugus Middle High School Complex, 1 Pierce Memorial Drive. And that is $10 for adults and $5 for students. I do offer extra credit to all of the students that I teach, and I tell my students if they can't afford it to just come see Mr. Raponi and we'll make sure they see the show. That's not a problem. On Saturday, we are slated to perform our slotted festival at 2 o'clock, which is the slot right after lunch. Tickets for that are $10 for everybody, but that $10 gains you access to not only our show at 2 o'clock, but all 8 shows beginning at 9 in the morning, and also the award ceremony that's slated to take place at 8:30 p.m. There is a link to tickets that you can purchase online in advance for that day, but they will also be accepting cash at the door for the performance on Saturday.
Excellent. I just want to thank you. Like I said, we love the arts, and I think Saugus is really is growing when it comes to the arts, and it's a tribute to you and everyone else.
Thank you for that.
And I'm glad you came, because I think, like I said, I don't think we shine the light on it enough, and we need to do more of it. We'd love to have you back for anything.
I got the impression when I interviewed for this job, I'm currently in my second year, when I got to sit down with Mike Hashem and former Principal Brendan Sullivan for the interview for this job, I knew loud and clear that fine arts and drama was a priority for this school district, and that's really what I was like, left that interview saying, please bring me on, because I feel like I was the right guy to bring this program to new heights, and I feel like we are well on our way to doing that. And I see every single day from the support of not only like the Saugus community, but administrators, teachers, staff members really supporting our program. I would love to continue moving that forward. And I believe I have found my forever home here at Saugus Public Schools. 2.5-minute commute aside, it's genuinely a great place to work and a beautiful facility that you guys have built. And I couldn't thank you more for the opportunity to be able to do what I do every day with this group of kids.
Thank you. Good
Thank
luck
you.
tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Respectfully, I am gonna head over and see my
What
kids
do I
before
say,
they
break
go
a
on
leg?
stage.
Is that what you
Break
say?
a leg, yeah,
Break
break
a
a leg.
leg.
Break a leg, that's right. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Moving on to the report of the superintendent, which we have a fill-in tonight for the superintendent. We have Dr. Turman,
Mrs. Turp,
Mrs. Turman.
thank you. I have no report from him,
She
but
has no report.
thanks for having me. though.
Thank you for being here. So just moving on to new business, we have approval of bills dated February 27th, 2025, in the amount of $529,745.85.
Motion to approve?
Chair seconds, roll.
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
And Mr. Sereno?
Yes. Next, we have, the wrestling team is double booked, so we wanted to have the wrestling team in. They had a fantastic year. Fantastic wrestlers from Saugus. We wanted to recognize them. But they'll be back March 13th, so a couple days before another great holiday. We have the first reading of the revised student admission policy. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's several pages. The only things I wanted to highlight, and this is online, is that we have the expensive citizens of Saugus be legal residents of Saugus. We removed the term legal. It's a long story, but we removed the word legal because of our legal. And also down on the second page, last paragraph, we removed student his or her records, including immigration records, required by law. That, per state law, we can't have that in there, so we had to remove that. The policy remains the same otherwise, where we still ask for census, everything like that. So those were the two changes. This will be the first reading unless if anyone wants to move it forward without a second reading.
I'm glad to make a motion to move it forward, or if you want to proceed with the second reading.
Yeah, chair seconds moving it forward without a second reading. Can we do a roll?
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
Mr. Sereno?
Yes, passes 4-0. Next, we have approval of school committee meeting minutes for February 13th, 2025, executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve.
Chair seconds, all in favor? Aye.
I abstain.
Yes, you should. You aren't there. Approval of school committee meeting minutes for February 13th, 2025, open session.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve.
Chair seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
We've got the approval of donations from online sales from Old School Apparel, great Saugus company, in the amount of $184.
Motion to approve?
Chair seconds, can we do a roll?
Yep, Mr. Hatch, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
And Mr. Sereno?
Yes. That moves us to public comment, and yay!
I've missed this.
Just your name and address, I think you know.
Carrie Hogan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Carrie Hogan, 11 Maple Street. It's just been a minute, so, I thought I'd come up here. But just two quick questions. On the changing of the acceptance with removing, legal residents versus residents of Saugus,
Yeah.
does that tie into McKinney-Vento? Is that why that changes?
You know what, that's a good question, but I don't think it ties into McKinney-Vento. I just think these two changes we made are state mandated changes, so.
State or DESI specifically?
State.
State law?
State
Okay.
law, yeah.
And the other question was, does the committee plan to submit an article for the town meeting for an SRO of any kind?
We have not discussed, I'll be honest with you, we have not discussed that. We can definitely discuss it and look at it, so,
Okay.
and you can follow up with us. Obviously, you have our emails.
You
and
know
stuff.
I will.
I know.
That's it, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to recess to executive session for the purpose of discussing negotiations not to return to public session.
Sure. All in favor?
Mr.
Aye.
Fisher?
Oh,
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
Mrs. Serena?
yes.